Hello, everyone. As you've noticed, this is my first video on YouTube. I don't normally post on YouTube. I'm usually more active on DeviantArt and Twitter. I was hoping to make my first video under better circumstances, but something happened about a month ago, and it's something I feel I really need to discuss. I won't be showing my face for safety reasons, which most of you would understand. I had a conversation with someone on Tumblr. If you're familiar with a YouTuber named Fleetway Supersonic, she has a second channel called AB City, but I'll call her by her preferred name. Anyway, she posted a video about SSJ Blake saying how he's been creeping her out and all that, and she's told him to stop, but he's just kept doing it. I think she said something that she actually used to be friends with the guy too. I I came to speak to her on her Tumblr to tell her about my situation that I had with him, because I as well contacted this guy on Twitter about 2 years ago, and let's just say it didn't go well. And I was telling her how he was mean to me and all that, but I'll maybe discuss that more in another video. At first, she felt bad for me, and we both understood each other. Our conversation was going well at first. At some point, and at some point of the conversation, I showed her a couple of pictures of my drawings of like avatars and such, and like, I even showed her one that a friend of mine drew for me as well. She sort of liked them, and she said they were all right. At least that's what she said at first. She also said that in her stream that the Multiverse Sonic series Blake was a part of was also becoming crap, and that why should Multi complain of people stealing their characters because they think they have the ownership over them, but they don't? And I mean, she's absolutely right. The characters in the Multiverse Sonic AU are just regular Sonic characters owned by Sega, but just redesigned. And and they're just their interpretation or take on them, and Sega is the rightful owner of all of them. She said that she was like making her own story, sort of like a better, improved version of the Multiverse Sonic series. At first, we were in full agreement with the statement, or or at least I thought we were, since I stopped watching Multiverse Sonic after they killed off Multi's wife, Brandy the Lycan, and Metal Sonic, their adopted robot. I told her that I hoped she'd be making a storyline where they survive, since I believe the story is nothing without them, but she said that she never liked either of those characters, and that she won't be including them in it at all. To say I was disappointed to hear that would be an understatement. I practically begged her to reconsider and include those characters, and stated that was the reason why I started watching the AU in the first place, because of those two characters. And I explained to her that the real reason why I liked both of those characters was, one, because this version of Metal Sonic is the best I've seen, and he's a pretty likable character, by the way, on how he's portrayed and all, despite that his voice, Blake, is an absolute asshole in real life, which I had to find out the hard way. We all know that. The things he said to me on Twitter, I can't believe Brenna would even let him say that stuff to me. I know she's his girlfriend, but seriously. Anyway, two, I like Brandy the Lycan because she's very adorable, and she reminds me of my girlfriend. If y'all want a link to her channel, I'll put it down in the description below and show her some support too. Even though she's only posted a couple of live streams so far. But yeah, like Brandy, she reminds me so much of my girlfriend and her personality, her cute little voice, and her hair and sweater greatly resembles her. But even so, Fleetway Supersonic told me that it's her story and I have no say in telling her to include those characters. And I suppose I shouldn't have said this either. I said that she was breaking my heart and that I was greatly passionate about these characters, and I even went as far, I probably shouldn't have said that, as to make an example saying that making such a request is no different than what you're doing. She's basically making her own interpretation of someone else's story without their consent. Even though knowing these people who made the original are pretty mean once you get to know them. I'd normally be against such action, but I loved her idea on improving it. Plus, it serves those people right for mistreating us. I also tried asking her that if she won't include Brandy, then what about a love interest character that looks similar or something like that, but she didn't agree to that either. And also, she said that she understands that the character reminds me of my past girlfriend, as she puts it. So, and yeah, she was right. I had absolutely no right to say whether or not she should include her or the other character. And I might have corrected her when I told her that when she I yeah, she said the character reminded me of my past girlfriend, and I corrected her saying that she's actually my current girlfriend when she assumed I was like talking about an ex or something. She responded saying no offense, but I really don't care about your relationship or personal stuff. And like I was only correcting her and all that. That's all. But yeah, I might have gone a bit but I might have like taken it like taken too show I might have like shown like too much information with saying that. But anyway, she told me she like explained like when I tried like making an excuse like that. She said that she's actually been working hard on this story for about 2 years and has put a lot of work and devotion into it. And I finally realized that there was no use in arguing with her, so I sincerely apologized for interfering with her work and told her very plainly that I was going to let this go. And I asked if we could like metaphorically shake hands on it. I realized I was wrong, and I took responsibility for it. I very clearly admitted to her that I shouldn't have done that. I tried to put aside and fix the conversation before it got out of hand, but according to her response, she made it sound as if it was too late for that. She responded by saying normally she'd accept my apology, but seeing I was basically telling her how to make her story, my messages were a bit long and I was slightly slow to reply, and especially as she puts it, thinking I basically lip glossed over her request to stop begging, and that I practically sounded too caught up in my own issues to even pay attention to her story plot. And I didn't even answer some of her questions too of what I think of the series, nor did I acknowledge it. She said that she was very passionate about it and the series, and she misinterpreted my response and thought I was being very disrespectful and too self-focused in my own issues to just even care about it. And and thought I was just completely avoiding her topic. Although I clearly told her that I was sorry and that I will not interfere in her story again and that I was letting this go. She said that she wishes she could accept my apology, but she just can't. I was seriously about to ask more questions about her series and was looking forward to seeing it and would greatly be interested in seeing new characters she came up with herself, but she didn't give me the chance. I tried to explain, I was typing that up to explain, but she didn't give me the chance. She thought I was taking a while to respond at one point, so she says this. So, no response? I'll just say it. Your art needs major work. They semi all look like those OCs that Fleet watches and you find on Google. Color barf. And with that, I'm done here. She made it she made it plainly clear that she doesn't want to talk to me anymore, and like, what do you mean by saying no response? Do you like expect me to respond right away? I I was at work, for crying out loud. I don't have time to constantly check if my boss is around the corner watching me so I can respond to texts. Surprisingly, she hasn't blocked me, but she probably will if she doesn't forgive me after seeing this video. I sent her a few more messages below trying to apologize and explain that I never intended to hurt her feelings in any way, and tried to explain that perhaps I wasn't in the right state of mind at the time. I should have waited till I calmed down or something. I begged her to forgive me and not shut me out, but she hasn't responded to any of my messages I sent her in the last hour or so after she got offline. And she just made it clear that she no longer wishes to speak to me. I feel so ashamed right now, really. I can't tell you how upset I am right now. Listen, I never intended to disrespect your work. I I greatly hurt this person's feelings and I hate myself for it. I don't know what to do, really. I hate myself for making you feel that way, and I can assume that you were probably just upset as I am. I feel just really stupid right now, and I wish there was a way for me to sincerely apologize to you and tell you that I have nothing against your story, and I don't hate it at all. And it was absolutely wrong for me to tell you who to put in your story and that I should have known better. Just because I didn't directly answer your question or was caught up in my own problems does not mean I didn't care about your story. Again, I probably should have just waited till I was in a better mood to talk. I feel like it's just one of those deals when somebody is very excited to tell you something, but you're like in a bad or depressed mood for whatever reason. And when they tell you like what they made or what they made or something cool, but you're not in a good mood and you just give a response by saying, "Yeah, cool," or it's awesome, but don't have any enthusiasm in it, and they don't understand why you answer like that, and they just simply think you just don't care about it at all. Another example, although yes, I know you said you don't care about my personal life or anything like that, but I'm just using it as an example, okay? There is a person at my work who sometimes has attention problems. Like when you're talking to her about something and you get to a certain topic, she'll either start worrying about that one subject or she'll just get so caught up in talking about it that she won't even pay attention to the next subject you discuss. And you literally have to like either yell or snap your fingers in order to get her attention, and it just drives me crazy. But I know that she doesn't mean to be rude. After our conversation ended, I spoke to a friend of mine on on DeviantArt, like in the direct message part of it, like Twitter has, and he told me that he told me that at least now I know, and I learned from my mistakes, and I would he gave me a suggestion to like wait a month or so before trying to talk to you again, and I took his advice, and it's already been past a month since we last talked, and yeah, but again, I do hope that you see this video and don't skip over it either, and I really hope that you aren't still mad at me. Please don't shut me out anymore. I want you to know from the bottom of my heart that I never intended to hurt your feelings, and I hope you can forgive me someday and let bygones be bygones.